Alex Polizzi is an award-winning hotelier with over 20 years' experience of working in the world's most luxurious hotels. Born into the legendary Forte hotel dynasty, she's on a crusade to transform Britain's most desperate hotels and B&Bs. From outrageous owners to dodgy decor.
Come, warm yourself at my medieval hearth. I mean, it's a joke.
Nothing escapes the hotel inspector's beady eye.
That completely disgusts me.
Yeah.
Or her quest for perfection.
I don't want to go. It'll be the end.
The reality is, darling, this is the business we're in.
This week, a tale of grime and punishment.
You do get what you pay for.
Finally, I'm grossed out enough to just say no.
What's the point of me giving you a nice room when you can't even chuck out rubbish?
It's going in the bin! Oh, you take it.
The first in, last out in Winchester, a 17th century pub and B&B commonly known as the Philo. Local entrepreneur John Sweeney bought the business 3 years ago, hoping he could turn it into a gold mine.
It was a challenge more than anything, to be truthful with you. I'm not one to turn down a challenge. Sometimes I wish I was. And I had to start learning from day one. And it has been a very, very big learning curve. How come you put staff on room 4, Barry?
Because I want a bed to sleep in.
If we're not fully booked, then Barry can have a room, but if we're fully booked, he can stay on the sofa as night watchman.
Ably assisting John is Barry Hillier, the Philo's general factotum and Winchester's answer to Tom Cruise.
My strengths are, more or less, I can do practically anything. I'm sort of like being told I was a jack of all trades. No power.
He's got some strengths I haven't, but I do find it very frustrating.
OK, thank you ever so much. He just wanted to know if we were showing the Sky Sportsy fights.
Yeah, I've lost where I'm counting now. But then again, I wouldn't even like to start thinking what Barry and some of the other staff think of me.
Far from being the money tree that John dreamed of, last year the Philo took him to the brink of financial ruin.
We went into serious debt. In all honesty, weeks away from bankruptcy. We're still not out the woods.
To stave off disaster, John's elected to sell his rooms at a rock-bottom price of £49 per night. But while the deals have appealed to contractors in search of cut-price accommodation, dozens of dire online reviews have blighted the Philo's reputation.
The reviews we've had at First In, Last Out haven't always been the best, that's for sure. Grubby, dirty. Is this the worst hotel in the country? That one was quite cutting.
I must admit, the reviews we had are not particularly great reviews, but a lot of people has remembered us.
Enter the hotel inspector. John's hoping renowned hotelier Alex Polizzi can help him reverse the Philo's fortunes.
I've got kids to support. I've got many people who rely on me in the form of staff and what have you.
We've laughed, we cried, we've made a lot of friends on the way, and for all to suddenly go would be really devastating.
To get to the bottom of the B&B's bad reputation, Alex has booked in for the night.
Good morning.
Oh, Hello, Alex.
John.
How are you? Welcome
Very
to the
well,
first in, last
thank
out.
you.
There's Barry.
Hello.
Nice
Barry.
to meet you.
All right, nice to meet you too.
What we're going to do is we're going to get you booked in now for insurance purposes. We need to know who's on the building in
Fine.
case of an emergency and what have
Lovely.
you. So Barry's just going to get you to fill
There
out
you
a
go.
form.
Thank you.
If you just put the basic contact details on there, that'd be cracking.
It's Assistant Barry's job to show Alex to her room.
Okay.
And he's keen to make a good impression on his new guest.
Okay, as you know, that is your bar area. Now that you're resident with us, it also entitles you to discount on alcoholic beverages as well. Okay, it isn't much, but it's a lot cheaper than what the locals get it for, and believe me, they're all jealous. Of course, this is your residence lounge. It consists of a continental breakfast, like your warm croissants, crumpets, your selections of fruits, and your sweets and your cereals as well. So do please help yourself. Okay, if you'd just like to come with me, I'll show you to where your room is. There you go, Alex. This is your room. Of course, it's all fresh bedding, fresh towels as well. Complimentary teas, coffees, your bottled waters and your sweets. If there's anything I can do for you for this evening and everything, then please don't hesitate to come down to the bar and come and get me, because it's also my duty to make your stay as much as comfortable as possible. OK, is there anything else you're not really too sure of you would like me to explain?
No, I think it's all perfectly self-explanatory.
Okay,
Thank you
there
very
go.
much.
There's your keys, and I hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you,
Thank
Barry.
you.
OK. It's a long time since I was reassured that the bedding on a bed had been changed and was clean for me. Well, of course, the light doesn't work. And honestly, the state of these taps has got to be seen to be believed. There's hairs on my bed. This is quite the most grotesque thing I've ever seen. I mean, even the fake flowers look as if they're urine stained. For decorative purposes only. Someone bought that and put it here to decorate the room.
Each of the 7 bedrooms in the 400-year-old inn has been personally designed by owner John.
My goodness. I feel like I'm Alice in Wonderland and I've just drunk the little bottle and suddenly I've grown. I'm not tall and there's not much head clearance here. Do you think it's a room for hobbits?
All the rooms share 2 loos and 2 showers.
So this is one of the communal showers. Not a great start, is it? Look at that. It's like growing. It's so mouldy. It's alive. That is filthy, filthy, filthy. Ugh.
You do get what you pay for. We're half the price of any other accommodation outlets in Winchester. So you've got to think, why is that so cheap?
The hotel inspector has seen enough.
I'm afraid this is my line in the sand. And, you know, over this line I will not cross. I'm not staying here. John, this place is really dirty. It's properly dirty. Now,
Yeah.
I understand this is cheap accommodation.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting a flat screen television. I don't even mind communal showers.
Sure.
But I expect communal showers that are immaculate if I'm going to have to share them with however many other bodies are staying in the building at any given time. I'm not saying that there's anything that has made me stop wanting to help or stop thinking about what to do.
Yep, yep.
But I have to say to you, I personally am just not willing to stay the night here.
Alex checks out, leaving the Philo with the distinction of being the first establishment she's ever refused to sleep in.
I never ever thought she wouldn't stay, in all honesty. You know, the room which we put to one side for her is, in all honesty, pretty reasonable to an average person.
We have put a lot of time and effort to preparing their room, and for her presence not being here this evening, it's disheartening.
Could the first in, last out be too big a challenge, even for the hotel inspector?
I want someone to pull their finger out and make sure that the shower's cleaned. I mean, that is not that complicated to understand, really, is it?
How can I show someone to clean a sink?
Well, do you know how? That's why you can't...
Yes.
The first in, last out in Winchester has driven its owner, John Sweeney, to the brink of bankruptcy. He's called for the help of hotel inspector Alex Polizzi, but less than impressed with its standards of cleanliness, she's refused to stay the night. This morning she's back and on a mission to make the bad old days of this 17th century B&B history.
OK, the beginning of another day, and I have high hopes for today, but the first thing I need to check is, did anyone do anything about that disgusting shower? No. John.
Hi, Alex, how you doing?
Well, I know you don't know me very well yet.
No.
But I really hate wasting my time.
Yeah,
So,
sure.
You might
I hate wasting my time as well, so...
Good.
You know, so we're both on the same level then.
Well, I'm quite surprised that you didn't assume that the first thing that I did this morning when I walked in here was go up and see if anyone had tackled the filthy shower.
Yeah.
I want someone to pull their finger out and make sure that the shower's cleaned. I mean, that is not that complicated to understand, really, is it?
Excuses won't wash with the hotel inspector. John's cleaner is immediately dispatched to the shower, while Alex continues her investigation with the breakfast room.
This lovely big room with these ugly tables and chairs. I can't imagine why anyone would sit in here. It could be so much better. There's dirty plates. There's a dirty microwave.
Things don't get any better with the inn's riverside garden.
There's a bowl on that table that looks like it belongs in a kitchen, full of ancient cigarette butts. Why? Why all this? The problem is everything about this place suggests that the owner just doesn't give a fuck.
Having scrutinised every corner of the establishment, Alex finds John to dish the dirt.
You know, Di, I'm not easily shocked, but just the general disorder around the place, I am pretty shocked at. Every single room I went round was not cleaned properly.
OK.
And I know about the financial side of things.
That costs nothing. So I've got no defence with that,
No.
Alex. I'll let you have that one.
Next, Alex wants John to blitz the bedroom's bizarre bric-a-brac.
You've got small rooms and you clutter them up with loads of shite. I think that's something that we could immediately address.
OK, and what would you put in there then?
Well, just keep them absolutely plain and functional.
Really?
Yes.
But would that then not lose its character?
What character? What you need is as few things as possible to gather dust, and what you're offering is a functional space.
Alex also wants to improve the breakfast area to create a more appealing, multifunctional room she hopes might attract a new type of customer.
You know, that breakfast room, what I think is it's just not somewhere that yodels to you to enter its portals.
But the hotel inspector's unique brand of tough love might be beginning to take its toll on John.
Trying to attract new clientele, I think, is very important. So, I need to make it nice enough in here to attract other people.
What are you going to try that I haven't tried?
Well, I'm going to try and make it a bit nicer. I don't think people want to necessarily come and sit at a bar with lots of men around it, whereas they might come and sit...
You're very anti-men, Alex.
I'm not at all anti-men.
I do appreciate what you're saying. That is not lady-friendly, you know,
But
so
also, there's
how do we
nowhere
get
really-
over that,
OK,
Alex?
well, I'm going to get over it. I'm
OK,
going to
right,
try...
OK, let's see you do that.
OK, because I want
Yeah?
to try and make over
And
a
I
bit.
wish you every success with that
Thank you.
one, OK?
Fine.
Alex is leaving the first in, last out with a clear blueprint for improvement.
I've decided I'm going to tackle the breakfast space. At the moment, it's a really unattractive place to sit, and I would like to not only make it a lot prettier, but also more multifunctional, so it can be used at breakfast time and in the evening. John's tasks, on the other hand, are to try and attract some new markets, and most of all, just to clean this place up.
It might be sort of like you need a Kango jack and a pickaxe to break through the ice for them to at first, because John's thick skin, so is a hotel inspector.
She put her point across, I put my point across as well. But I think we're going to work as a good team, to be truthful with you. And yeah, I felt a bit of chemistry.
While Alex is away, John and Barry start trying to clean up their act.
Right, we need to crack on with this, Barry.
John's cleaners say that he doesn't give them enough time or materials to do their jobs any better.
Alex did stress, you know, that it does come down to me, because obviously I'm the leader of the gang, I suppose, if you want to call it that. And yes, I'm here to take the responsibility. Let's have some effort up there, Barry.
It's all nailed in, mate. If you can do better and everything, being honest, you do it.
It's my knees. Barry!
I didn't realise till Alex pointed it out that things wasn't that bad here, but now that she sort of like come along, shed the light on the subject, then of course it was pretty horrendous.
3 weeks after her disastrous first visit, Alex returns to Winchester, expecting big improvements.
How's it been here?
Holding our own, still.
Yeah.
We've achieved some of the things you set down.
What?
We've worked mainly on the garden.
Yeah, cleaning up the place.
Yeah. I can show you around. Show you what we've done, yeah?
I'd love to see. Well, you've certainly made a good start here, darling. Loads of the crap's gone. It's still a bit messy, but it's nice to see that you've pulled finger on at least one of the things that I've mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go and have a look over there, please. I can see from even a cursory examination that you've made a bit of an effort here too.
Yeah.
It's starting to look a bit better. You know, an attempt has been made. I congratulate you for showing willing.
Happy twice.
No,
now,
happy.
Alex,
Happy, I think, would be an exaggeration.
Okay.
Alex's scepticism proves justified the moment she sets foot in the breakfast room.
There's a real stench of food in here.
Unfortunately, where our core business is contractors, we've got some which have been working nights last night, and they come in at 6 o'clock in the morning, and they seem to be having their tea.
I just can't understand why at 10:30 in the morning no one's thought to clear those plates.
Yep.
Assuming that someone wants to get up and have breakfast at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
They then come down.
Yeah, OK. You finish.
Thank you. They come down to the curry, the old curry dishes.
That's
in
correct.
Front room.
Yeah.
Except-
Unfortunately, the cleaner puts this at the bottom of a list, at the end of a list, and it shouldn't be.
I
and
know,
I
but
try
this is
explaining
your
to
place. God, I'm already frustrated. I've been through the door 10 minutes and you've already started. I told the cleaner and she just won't do it.
The Philo's cleaners say that John has never given them a proper cleaning regime to follow. Alex is ready to prove a point with the appliance of science, a dirt detector that measures the effectiveness of housekeeping.
If John is ever going to make the Philo more than a doss house, he has got to make sure that he raises the standards. That simple. The industry rule is that anything over 1,000 is unacceptable.
OK.
1,731, I believe.
OK.
Yeah?
We failed.
And I want to force him to acknowledge that things should be done better.
But could the first in, last out be cleaner than Alex thinks?
Get in there, get in there. Sorry, all apologies accepted.
John's sense of triumph, however, is very short-lived.
Be confident, Barry, be confident. She's not right every time.
3,299.
But she's on again.
Yeah.
OK. Well, I can't see where we're going with that.
Well, I'm
Testing a
just
bloody
saying,
sofa.
Well, I'm saying that the reason that one has leather is because one can clean it. OK, well, why don't we do one last thing, which I think you will agree, maybe. Let's try the sink in the bar, shall we? $74,000. I'm amazed.
Well, tell me, fucking staff I've had sat around here paying them and they can't even be fucking asked to do
You've
that.
got to tell them to do
I'll tell them,
things,
Alex.
and
I'll
you've
tell
got
them.
to show
I'll tell
them
them.
how to
I'll
do
tell them.
things.
How can I
this is
show
what-
someone to clean a sink?
Well, do you know how? That's why you can't
Yes.
show.
Why should I be showing them and telling them?
Well, because this is your place. That's your job.
It pisses me off, you know? I'm like almost frustrated with myself as I am with them, you know, but my time spending sort of keeping the company going or, you know, the business going, and it's just pathetic when I have to keep coming back to crap like that.
He's got a lot of pressure on his plate. That's not an excuse. Of course, on my side, I am also responsible for the outrageous readings because I work behind the bar as well as everybody else.
I'm bored of John casting all responsibility onto everyone else's shoulders. Ultimately, this is his establishment. He is the one who's responsible for it. Things here need to be cleaner.
With the future of the Philo fading fast, will the hotel inspector have to get her hands dirty?
What's the point of me giving you a nice room when you can't even chuck out rubbish?
It's going in the bin!
Honestly.
The first in, last out in Winchester, known locally as the Philo. The 17th century pub and B&B has been plagued by poor reviews, with one disgruntled guest even suggesting it might be the worst hotel in Britain. Desperate to raise standards, owner John Sweeney sent out an SOS to renowned hotelier Alex Polizzi, who promptly refused to stay the night.
Over this line, I will not cross.
After going head-to-head on the issue of cleanliness,
How can I show someone to clean a sink?
Well, do you know how?
a frustrated Alex has decided to take matters into her own hands and provide the sort of deep clean that an ordinary daily regime couldn't hope to achieve.
I've had to take the kind of nuclear option of sending in outside cleaners. I'm hoping that once it's been steam cleaned, they'll be able to upkeep the level of cleanliness that they're provided.
And while Alex's team of professional grime fighters go to work, she sent John and sidekick Barry off to research an alternative to their current lacklustre continental breakfast.
I think their breakfast offering here in the first in, last out is really poor. And if he wants to attract someone who's prepared to pay a bit more, he has to give more for breakfast. He has to do it better.
First stop for the dynamic duo, an American-style diner.
Looking forward to these, I must admit. I've never really had a pancake.
Next, a taste of the continent.
I'm going to go for something different. Can I have the yoghurt cup there, please?
Yeah, sure.
Well, both gone for the healthy option. Tastes nice.
And it's
I don't
easy
know
as well.
if I can see a big hairy contractor coming down expecting a full English, and then he sees this.
And finally, it's back to basics at a good old-fashioned cafe.
Well, this is it. It's your traditional English, isn't it? You know, everybody loves a full English. You're not going to go too far wrong.
When John and Barry return, the first in, last out is sparkling.
Wow.
Oh my God.
If John wants to upgrade his breakfasts, the previously rarely used kitchen is now up to the task.
Bit of a difference there, mate.
Definitely.
Bit of a difference.
Now we've got a foundation, the only way is up.
The cleaning isn't the only area where Alex has demanded action. She's sent in a team to revamp the less than seductive breakfast room.
For this place to start doing better, John has to start attracting some new clientele, new markets. I'm going to do my bit by ensuring that I provide an environment that's a little bit more attractive than what there was here before. So I really want to turn it into more of a multifunctional room, a room that you could actually come here with a few friends, sit down, have a drink, and not feel like you're in the very male environment around the bar.
And fed up with the Philo's filthy shower room, She's having a completely new system installed. Meanwhile, John and his staff have been left with the responsibility of keeping standards up to scratch. Alex is on her way back to Winchester to check on the results.
Feeling nervous. Did we get everything done to Alex's specifications, or didn't we? Of course, we was up quite late last night sorting everything out, but we got there in the end. We got there. There is no I in team in this business.
First stop on Alex's tour of inspection, her nemesis. When she first arrived, the shower was run down and literally had a life of its own. Now it's a very different story.
Well,
Ta-dum!
this
What do you
looks
think?
considerably better, doesn't it?
Brilliant, isn't it?
I'm really pleased. This would have taken a lot of the sting out of me coming to stay with you. Let's go and have a look at the breakfast room.
OK.
The breakfast room has gone from a grimy, mismatched mess to a warm, stylish space, appropriate to the age of the building.
I think any budget traveller would not mind having breakfast
Oh,
here.
I think this is worth more than a budget, to be truthful
Yeah.
with you. You know, you've stepped us up a gear. Yeah.
And then in the evening, it's supposed to be somewhere where people can come and have a drink.
Yeah.
The hotel inspector's changes have made a marked difference. But have John and his team raised their game? John's feeling confident.
Philo's on the up, I think, to be truthful with you. Philo's on the up. I think we've achieved a majority of the things that she asked us to do. But, like I say, she's a tough cookie.
Oh, look. Oh, well, this is going to be nice and easy to cook in, isn't it? I don't know how to help you if you don't at least start helping yourself, darling, because I can give you a new shower and I can give you a new look breakfast room and I can try and tempt people back here one way or the other. Mm-hmm. But, you know, doll, that is really just bonkers.
Further horrors await in the laundry room corridor.
Is this dirty or is this clean?
This is throwing away stuff.
For God's sake.
I know, tell me about it. Tell me where I can do it. That is the laundry
This,
room.
for God's sake, here. Who are you going to blame this on? What's
And
the
the stuff-
point of me
the
giving
stuff-
you a nice room when you can't even fucking chuck out
But
rubbish?
it's going in the bin.
Get some bin bags now.
I can dress the front of house however I like, but if the back of house remains in that kind of mess, what hope does the front have?
What's supposed to happen with
Well,
this
how
stuff?
long-
Is it dirty or
It is to go in the washing machine. That is why it's next to the bloody washing
Oh,
machine.
don't be ridiculous, John. This isn't a washing pile.
Well, what is it then?
Oh,
What is
this
it
is
then?
like the Kilimanjaro of dirty laundry.
We're talking about a busy B&B, Alex. Oh,
Honestly, you can't leave it lying about the floor like this. It's just disgusting. Is this knackered? Is this good? You
yeah,
tell
no,
me.
that's knackered. A bit like me.
There may be a mountain to climb, but Alex isn't ready to give up yet.
Right. So, obviously everything is in the state it's in, but
Yeah.
I'm going to challenge you. You've got your nice new breakfast room. I want, for the next time I come back, for you to actually make an attempt to fill that breakfast room. Not just a few contractors, but some people you get off the street, some
Yeah.
students, whatever you like, to
Sure.
see how you cope with a full house, to see if this idea is even viable. Looking around here, there's quite a bit to do for the kitchen to be in a fit state.
Oh, absolutely. I won't let you down. Don't worry. That'll be full. And this will be organised.
Darling, it's not you letting me down. It's just I so desperately don't want you to let yourself down.
I don't let
You
myself
know,
down. I don't
darling,
let, you're
just-
investing in me. And honest, I'll pay you back. Don't worry for me, Alex.
1 month later, there's a chef in the kitchen primed for action. But John is having to get more hands-on than usual.
I'm going to quickly put a couple of tables together. No.
The team at the Philo are a man down.
I'm not there at the Philo much now. I'm there on a need-to-know basis, if anything.
I'm feeling a little bit under pressure at the moment, to be truthful with you. Barry's first love was painting and decorating, and he's had some jobs come in, and he's gone off elsewhere to do those. I'm more than happy with that.
You got any sauce?
Yeah, we've got all the sauces. Do I bring them out now or do I bring them out when people ask?
It's been up and down. Of course, more downs than ups.
Barry's absence means John must face a batch of hungry students and the local Women's Institute alone.
I can't hide behind any excuses and blaming it on other people or anything this time. Welcome to the First In, Last Out. Have any of you ever been here before?
No.
No, right, OK.
Can I have no hash browns, please?
Okay.
I would like the same, please. No hash browns.
Okay.
Straightforward one, but may I have my bacon quite crispy, please?
Yeah, sure. Right, OK, it's not as straightforward as I thought.
Can I have a tiny bit more milk, please?
Yes, certainly.
Actually, can you just bring a little jug of milk, maybe?
Yeah, not a problem at all.
Would that look silly with milk in it?
To be honest, yeah, look,
Yeah.
gravy jug.
Not going too well, to be truthful with you. A little bit under pressure. I've only got one table done. Hopefully the charms sort of won them over slightly and we dig our way out a little bit.
Portion's really big, which is good. I like that. It's all cooked really nicely, tastes really good, smells good. Good stuff.
We asked for 3 coffees and 1 tea, and we've got 3 teas and 1 coffee.
I do apologise, I've got that totally around the wrong way. I don't think those will return. My service was bloody awful.
If it's a first attempt, you've got to start somewhere, I suppose.
Despite the odd teething trouble, John has survived without too much egg on his face. Alex is keen to hear the news.
Hi Alex, how are you?
How did breakfast go?
Overall, mixed, but came out positive towards the end.
I'm so pleased you actually got your act together and did it, and
I've got a further challenge for you. When I first came to the First In, Last Out,
you were upset by so many negative reviews.
Yeah.
well, try and
Contact some of those people.
ask them to come back and give you another go.
Okay.
And we'll see if
We can't change their attitudes.
and rewrite their reviews to be a bit more positive.
And the only warning note I have to sound to you,
Is
Yeah.
if it isn't,
immaculate. If it isn't spick and span there, I am going to tan your behind.
to myself.
Right, OK, I'm game if you are.
That wasn't supposed to be an invitation, darling.
Right, sorry.
The Philo's most scathing critics will be returning to the scene of the crime.
It was very, very dirty. No excuse to having a used condom in the bed where we were.
Has John got what it takes to make them reverse their wretched reviews?
When you consider some of the criticism that's being levelled at him, I wonder, how does he come back from that?
It was horrid.
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
The First In, Last Out in Winchester. For the past 12 weeks, Hotel Inspector Alex Polizzi has been battling to save the beleaguered B&B. The 7-bedroomed inn has been torn to shreds by online reviewers, and today, several former furious guests have been invited to return to the Philo in the hope that owner John can persuade them to reverse their damning opinions.
So, we have some of the people coming back who wrote the bad reviews on
Absolutely.
the internet. Have you done enough to yank everything back into...
I like to think so. Yeah, I think we have.
With Alex, you know, it's been a bit of a love-hate relationship.
Gosh.
She's taken me to one side and basically bollocked me, to be truthful.
This is looking much, much better.
Really?
Well done.
We've kept it up. We've stayed on top of it.
Can I see the laundry room?
The lady makes sense, so she's writing what she's saying, so I've got no defence there. So, you know, I've listened to the majority of the things she said.
Well, it's not perfect, but it is a lot better.
With Alex reasonably satisfied, John must now come face to face with his fiercest critics. These disgruntled guests have branded the First In, Last Out as dismal, rated it 10 out of 10 for dirtiness, and questioned whether it might be the worst hotel in the UK.
When we last come, it was very, very dirty. No excuse to having a used condom in the bed where we were.
The reviewers which are coming back today never had the best time at the Philo, that's for sure.
It was pretty dire.
Would never want to come back under normal circumstances.
I think you have a right to expect a certain standard when you stay anywhere, but it failed to reach the most basic of standards.
So, slightly nervous, to be honest with you.
Their damaging online reviews hit both John and his business hard. Unless he can change their minds, their criticisms will continue to blight the B&B.
Hi, welcome to the first in, last out. Hope it's a bit more pleasurable than last time you stayed.
So do I. Hello, John.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, John.
I've held his hand till now, but it's time for him to step up to the plate. This is his establishment, it's his reputation on the line. It's time for him to take the reins in his own hands, man up and get on with it.
We're going to make up slightly for not giving them the best of time, so we're going to show them round, give them a couple of drinks, a bit of cheese and biscuits, and apologise.
But will John's promise of cheese and biscuits be enough to woo these hard-nosed critics? First to come under scrutiny is the new multifunctional breakfast room.
We've done a lot to this room. It's now become multifunctional, so we open it up of an evening as well, hence the candles and the whole sort of ambience. One of the things we've also improved on is a cooked breakfast.
But are the actual rooms going to be more... because, I mean, the bed that we had was terrible.
The bedrooms had come in for brutal criticism. John's worked hard to degrease and declutter them and has completely redecorated room 6. But will it be enough?
OK, if you want to come in.
When you consider some of the criticism that's being levelled at him, I wonder, how does he come back from that? I mean, a condom in the bed, a used condom in the bed.
I noticed that you've got cups there, or mugs and that, but have you got means of making tea or coffee?
We have. It's a long story behind that. Yeah, there is a kettle, but it's just not in the room.
Oh,
at the
yeah, so
moment.
you will have tea making facilities?
Yeah, absolutely. The kettle will be there. It's just, yes.
I really do hope that John is giving it his best shot. And he's showing genuine concern about the terrible experience that all of these customers had.
I'm going to show you the shower room now. The shower room's one of the things which cropped up a lot in the reviews. Hopefully you'll find an improvement on the previous shower rooms. Okay.
The future of the B&B is hanging in the balance. If the new changes fail to impress some of its unhappiest guests, the reputation of the first in, last out could be damaged even further. To John, one man's opinion matters more than any other. Mr. Patmore questioned if the Philo was the worst hotel in the UK, a review that cut John to the quick.
It was horrid. It was a nightmare. The cleanliness, the beds, the breakfast,
sure.
The whole experience.
And has anything today changed your mind?
Absolutely, yeah. It's a lovely little place, and it's a shame if you didn't keep it up.
Yeah.
And it went downhill again.
Absolutely.
After the amount of effort you've all put in.
I'm really glad that you think we're on the right track.
No, it'd be a pleasure to come back, honestly.
Brilliant.
Absolute pleasure.
Thanks for your time.
And the Philo's most damning detractor isn't alone.
I think he's a very brave man. I hope he does very well. He seems to be trying very hard.
It's clean, it's tidy. Well, it had nothing going for it at all. This is really, really nice.
I'd be quite happy to stay there anytime.
Oh, it's just amazing. It just looks a lot cleaner. You want to stay here now. It looks warmer, cosier.
I think we would stay here again, yes, if we were in Winchester.
Yeah. I'm really, really, really pleased that we satisfied people and we've gone back, we've said sorry, and they're going to come back and stay with us.
But there's just one former guest left to win over. The first in, last out was the first establishment the hotel inspector had ever refused to spend the night in.
Oh, Mr. Sweeney. Polizzi's place. That's
You're
really-
touched, aren't it?
I really am. I'm
You
really
like that?
touched.
Today, I'm just concentrating on selling the first in, last out Winchester to Alex so the posh bird stays over. We've got to have that lady staying over because if we've not achieved that, then we've not achieved what we set out to do.
What a transformation!
Oh,
Well
thanks.
done. It looks clean and
Yeah,
it
that's
looks
the thing, isn't it?
smart. Well, I think you've done enough to
Is it a
persuade
night
me.
with the Polizzi?
It's a night with the Polizzi. At least the room has a night with the Polizzi. Okay,
Oh.
let's be clear here.
The 400-year-old inn has gone from a B&B bashed and berated for its sloppy standards
Really nice. Fab.
to smart, clean budget accommodation where even the most discerning traveller might rest her head.
The time has come for me to leave, but please make sure that this is just the beginning and that you keep the good work up. You've got to stay on top of the cleaners. You've started well on the rooms, but you've obviously got to continue.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you don't make a mess of this.
Sure.
It would be so easy just for it all to slide back again.
It won't. You worry too much. Thank you.
Bye, darling.
later.
Thanks. There's been many a moment where I've been driven to despair by John's inability to grasp the nettle, his refusal to tackle the problems that beset the first in, last out. But as I leave, I'm actually quite proud of him. I just hope now that he continues to go from strength to strength.